Alright, what's going on, you guys? Yeah, I don't know why I always have these gaps in these videos, like, you know, okay, yeah, we're going to really be consistent on these things, you know, start really cranking them out. You've seen how that's been working out for me. Yeah, excuses. I'll just say excuses, and yeah, that's the reason why it's been taking me so long to get these out. I'll be honest, you know, mainly it's just been my doors. The doorknob broke on it, and I have like a super anxiety when I'm sitting here trying to record. I don't like it when I feel like people can listen to me. I'm trying to get over it, but it just bothers the hell out of me. So finally got the door fixed, and I mean, I've been trying to get this video out for a month now. It's whatever. I mean, you know me. I'm just gonna not make any more promises when it comes to the channel. So fingers crossed. We'll just try to get these out as soon as I possibly can, and I will never say, oh yeah, we're going to be more consistent. I probably will. I'm a liar. So yeah, basically, I wanted to come back, you know, do like a big catch-up type of video. I mean, like usual, I'm always so behind on everything. So everything here is stuff I've had in at least since January. You know, like for example, these tapes in particular I've been wanting to talk about forever. And then I'm still looking over here like, oh shit, I've got at least, you know, 15 or so that I haven't talked about yet. So, and that's kind of going with everything, man. I've got CDs out the ass. I need to talk about records too that I've been really like, why haven't I talked about this yet? So here we are. So hopefully we can get some of this knocked out here soon. I'm not going to say when, because it's just, because I'll be lying to you. So I don't know, but I'm on layoff right now because of the coronavirus. Maybe we can start getting these out. So yeah, I've got some tapes I've been meaning to talk about for a while now. I've got a couple holy grails that I never thought I'd get my hands on, so I was like, I have to talk about this like right now. And between that, I've got some you know, recent record store hauls I wanted to talk about. Recent being January, so you can see where my focus has been lately. So I'm sorry. So let's go ahead and do this, and hopefully you got something to watch while you're stuck in the house. So our soundtrack today is Cult of Endtime with I'm not sure how you say this, in Charnel Lights. Or Charnel, yeah, Charnel Lights. I'll be honest, this is a band I know absolutely nothing about. This one came free in some order I picked up a while back, and I'm just kind of now getting around to listening to it. So it's good to kind of catch up on things because I'm, again, behind all the time. And yeah, this is just me listening to it for the first time. I know they're a Finnish death metal band. I believe they split up back in 2018, I want to say. And as far as I know, this is the only full length they ever put out. So that's really about the extent of my knowledge on this band. So leave me stuff in the comments if you want to tell me more about them, because I'm definitely eager to learn. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So, all right, let's talk about some music. So this one is one I promised in the last, I think it was the last video. I had it as a soundtrack, and I've been really wanting to talk about it lately because it's a band I've been listening to quite frequently over the last month or two. But yeah, this is Primigenium with the Art of War, or Art of War, actually. Some Spanish black metal, and basically it sounds like the early Norwegian stuff. You know, like all those bands were talking about wanting to have like a necro sound. It comes across like that. Really sounds like a Blaze in the Northern Sky, probably. But and obviously this is you know, a Swedish band, but like early Marduk with the production on Blaze in the Northern Sky with something like Aveth from Immortal on vocals. So, I mean, it's really nothing you haven't heard before, but to me, it's just a really solid album, really good black metal, and it's just something I've been really digging lately. It's becoming a band that I'm just going to have to pick up all their stuff. I mean, I don't know when or where or how I'm going to find it, but, you know, I'm getting around to it, so definitely a band I've been digging lately. I did pick up the demo not that long ago, and I thought about throwing it on this video, but I was like, I've got so much other stuff, I'll just hold it off for a while. And but you know, maybe this will be a nice teaser for you if you haven't really listened to this band. I know it's just one of those that kind of went under the radar for me. As far as I know, they're one of the earliest Spanish black metal bands, so that's pretty cool. I may be totally wrong about this, but I think this is the only release for this album ever made on CD. So I was kind of, I don't know how limited it was, but I guess I was kind of lucky to find this one. So this was on the Full Moon Productions. And again, this is, as far as I know, the only CD version of this album available. And I know, what's that label? Go to Werex, or I don't know how you say it, but I know I don't really buy from them just because, as far as I understand, you know, they just put out stuff in super limited quality and let people fight over it. And I was like, fuck that shit. But yeah, as far as I remember, I believe they have a vinyl version they just released this year. So I mean, if you want to try to track that down, go for it, I guess. But I'm cool with this. And again, you know, it's just a really solid black metal. Nothing you haven't heard, but it's still really enjoyable. So check her out. All right, jumping into some Holy Grails, and this first one, I guess I could say it's a Holy Grail, but it's been more of a recent one for me, just because I couldn't find it anywhere. I looked everywhere, and just no one had it. There were some of them on Discogs, but I was just like, yeah, it's like ordering it from Russia and like Bulgaria. Not doing that. So I was like, I'll just buy my time. Maybe eventually I'll get it. But it got to the point where me and Eli talk about this band all the time, and Dark Animals from the Cold North, and we just kind of came to the point where we're never going to find it. I know I don't want to say I'd given up on it, but it was like I'm just never going to have this album. But one day I just was on maybe Nuclear War Now, they had it, and I was like, buy, like right now. But it's like I'm finally through getting all the full lengths for this band, and it's such a load off. Maniac Butcher-Masakr. You're probably sick to death of me talking about this band, but I don't even care at this point. It's just been such a huge load off my mind getting all their full lengths. So I finally got all of them, and yeah, I'm just absolutely thrilled. So this is the Negative Existence copy, which makes it an original as far as I'm aware. I know they were putting out all their albums out on Pussy God, which is what's his name, Barbaroods. This dude, he runs the label, and he was putting out at least all their earlier stuff, and I don't remember when they just stopped putting them out. But so this one actually came out on Negative Existence, and you know they were doing that from then on. I can't remember. I don't remember if it started with this album or not, but it's whatever, dude. I'm just so, I don't know how they got their hands on them, but I was just glad they finally have them, and I was through the roof excited about this. I bought this one immediately. So like the one negative thing, and I know like a lot of you collectors will feel the same way, but it's just kind of a bummer when you have a band's entire discography basically on one format, and then you get one on CD. So everything from Maniac Butcher I have is on tape. And it was just like, I mean, it's cool to finally have it, but it would just be really nice if I could have gotten it on tape. You know, but whatever, I'm still thrilled about it. But like seriously, no more than, it wasn't even a week later after I picked that up that I found the tape version. So this is actually the Pussy God reissue, and I definitely found this on Nuclear War Now, and I was like, buy immediately. So I didn't even care. I've already got it, but I'm going to complete what I have on tape. So I'm thrilled. And me and Eli were joking, like, honestly, like, we complain about this so much. Maybe they just reissued it just to shut us up. But we've been talking about this ever since last year. This one was released in 2019, this version. So, I can't tell you how stoked I am to finally have this. So it comes on a really nice blue shell, and it actually comes with this blue case, but it was broken. You know, the jackass mailman, I guess he threw it down too hard or something and broke it, so I just swapped it out with this blank tape case. And I mean, I wanted to keep it as pristine and as, you know, original as possible, but it's whatever. I'm just so happy to have this, so I'm not even worried about it. But this one is going, I actually had the spot picked out, and it's going right there. Done. Yeah. I actually ordered 2 copies, so I got Eli one, so it's coming, dude. As soon as I can get to the post office, I will send that your way. So there's that. There's some Maniac Butcher. Alright, this next one is one that it's like, I've heard a lot of people tell me this, and I honestly thought I would never have it. And just looking at it, I still don't believe I actually own this album. This is one that I didn't really put in my list of things I've been wanting for a long time, just because I never thought I'd have it, because I could never find it. But this one actually is probably the most expensive CD I ever paid for, which wasn't that bad. It was only $26, but for this album, it's like, dude, you stole it. I don't even know what to say. Mortuary-Blackened Images. What do you even say? Like, I don't believe I'm holding this. Yeah, I mean, you guys know this. You should know this. I mean, just some diabolical old-school death from Mexico. I just love the thrash riffs on this also. They blend it so well on this album. It just sounds so evil. And, but yeah, again, I didn't think I would ever own this. It is a newer release. This one's on Moon Records. I don't know if you can see it on there. Where is it? Right here. Which is fine with me. I don't care. I mean, this is a 2018 reissue, and it's just like whatever. I'm not even bothered by it. But originally out in 1990 and independently, I believe, and then Avanzada Metallica, I think was the name of the label. They started putting them out and reissuing it, and it's went ever since. But I can't tell you how excited I am, obviously. So this particular version comes with a poster, and I'm really debating on whether to put it up, just because it's like, I waited so long to get this, and I just kind of want to keep everything together. It might go up someday, but I don't even know. So there's the CD, and the booklet's really nothing to it, but there it is. I'm going to show every bit of it, but yeah. My only knock, and it's not even really a knock, but it would have been really cool if they had like the alternate cover, like with the Jesus cover in here, but it's not a big deal, but it would just been cool to have. Just to kind of have it, like as a, where they did the same thing with the Severed Survival from Autopsy. I think my version has the doctors, and then like the CDs have the patient all torn up and stuff, so that would have been cool to have this in here, but I'm not even going to complain anymore. But yeah, it's never thought I'd own it. There it is. Alright, so we're going to move on to some tapes for a minute, and these were all ones that I've had in for a while, and most of these are ones that I was like, meant to pick up for my, just 2019 releases I didn't really get around to, and it's just kind of a bummer that I did, because a lot of these are like big time favorites of mine, especially this one, Pestilent Death. Chapters of Depravity came out last year on Rotted Life Records. Some awesome LA death metal. Just so apocalyptically heavy, very hook laden, but also just that mid-tempo stuff blended with all the other things just kind of make it sound even more brutal. And I just love this band. It's easily one of my favorites from last year, and I just wish I'd picked it up, on time. It's not a big deal, but whatever. Just a clear shell. And I don't think there's much of anything in the J card there, just the band and our lyrics. But yeah, this is their second full length, and still need Eulogies of Putrefaction, their first one, and I'm gonna get around to it definitely. So still need that one. But yeah, one of the best bands around in my opinion, and they came out on one of my favorite labels, Rotted Life. I'm loving Rotted Life Records. Blood Harvest also put that out, so if you prefer Blood Harvest, or you're in Europe, so if you want to go that route, so awesome stuff. I know everyone knows everything about this. It's been talked about ad nauseum at this point, so I don't want to dwell too much on it. This one has two, but I mean, it's well worth me talking about it if you haven't heard it. This is a Cemetarian. Tomb of Morbid Stench came out independently last year, I believe. Awesome Houston death metal. And I believe, yeah, this is their debut release, first demo and all that kind of thing, but it features members of Oath of Cruelty, Morbosadad, Thy Feeble Savior, Blaspherian, stuff like that. So you kind of get the gist of what this is all about. Just really solid, catchy death metal. So this version is apparently a European version. This is on Unholy Domain, and I can't remember who put out the North American release, but as far as I can tell, the only differences are the European one has red labels instead of white. As far as I know, that's it. And the weird thing is, being in North America, I keep seeing the European release far more often, when people are posting stuff like on Instagram or whatever. So I don't know how that works out, but hey, either way, it's still pretty cool. Really nice shell here. No label, no nothing. It's just painted on there. It's just fucking dope. So yeah, definitely worth your time. Go check this one out. Really good death metal. I mean, if you like any of those other bands I was mentioning, you'll certainly be into this. So go look it up if you haven't. This is one that I don't know why it took me so long to get around to this band, and they've got plenty of good material. I think they just put out an EP not that long ago. It might have been late last year. I don't remember, but yeah, I've got to get around and start picking their stuff up. Know where I've been, but yeah, now I've been listening to very frequently. This is Aseptic with Murderous Obsessions. This one actually came out in 2018, and yeah, so you can see how far behind I am. I believe they're out of San Jose, just some good old-fashioned San Jose death metal. Really love the hyper distorted guitars on this, and the overall demo quality in the production just sounds great. And like Mortuary, it's kind of got some thrash type of riffs in there, but they blend it so well, just with some really intense death metal foundation underneath. So it's just pretty much old school style. No fuckery, no nonsense. This one is the Necrolatry Records version from last year, and this one I think is limited to 200 copies. I can't remember who all else has put this one out, so it's whatever. Nothing really much in the J card, but I do love this logo here. Awesome stuff, man. Another band I would highly recommend you go check out if you haven't already. Really been into them recently. Aseptic. Get my last swig of water. I've been trying to record this all day, and then my phone keeps tripping out. Sorry. Alright, this is one that would, I knew about this way in advance before it ever came out, and it's like, why did it take me so long to get this? Because it was on my radar, so you think I would have definitely picked that up, but whatever. This is a split from Oxygen Destroyer and VHS with it's supposed to be Category 3 Kaiju. I don't know why they didn't put Category on there, so it's not even on the spine either, so that's just kind of weird. But yeah, man, it's pretty much what you come to expect from both these bands. Just some ferocious death thrash from Oxygen Destroyer. Just always relentless speed and attack from them. I mean, as usual. Really nice shell, too. There's the Oxygen Destroyer side. With VHS, the same gurgly, grinding death thrash out in full, like as always, coming with them. And I believe this is one of 4 releases they put out last year, so it's just... They're a busy band. Really love the shell on here. It's one of my favorite colors, this green. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much to it other than that. I mean, if you know these bands, you know what this sounds like, and it's not in a bad way that I'm not really super describing it. But I mean, it's worth your time. Go check them out. Good place to start if you're looking into both of these bands, but would highly recommend their other material as well. So, don't know why it took me so long to get this. It's weird. So, there we go. All right, and everything else is just some record store pickups I found, and well, we'll just go ahead and start talking about those. And all of these are records you should all know. So this first stack I've got 4 CDs. I thought there was a 5th one, but I couldn't remember which one it was because my mind's been just so off lately. These came from Play It Again Records in Valdez, North Carolina, and it was just a really cool shop that I've been meaning to go to for years and years at this point. I just finally got around to it. Found all kinds of stuff in there. So I'll probably just breeze through these because I know you all know these bands. But this first one is a band that I've been really trying to get through their discography lately. I've picked up probably 3 or 4 just in the last 6 months or so. So here's another one to add to it. I believe it's their debut full length also. Cannabis Corpse, Blunted at Birth. Yeah, I mean, what can you say? Virginia death metal, obviously the side project of Phil from Municipal Waste. So very much in that old school vein. Lots of hooks, really easy to get into. And what I love about this, I'm always looking forward to their albums just to see what bands and what songs they're going to parody. It's just, I don't know, it's just fun for me to kind of see what they're talking about on here. So this was obviously on Cannibal Corpse. What was the next one? Tuba that Resonated, I believe. That one had some Deicide ones on there, I believe, or that might have been the next one. No, that was, it might have had some. But that was Beneath Grow Lights Thou Shalt Rise, so that had some Deicide songs. But I mean, they've covered Deicide, Cryptopsy, Death, Cannibal Corpse, all kinds of bands. And it's just Entombed. It's for me, it's fun to see what they're going to come up with in terms of song titles. But still, I mean, the music is really, really good. So it's not a knock on that. It's part of why I love them. So I'm dying. All right, this one is an album that I've been wanting for a long time, but it's just a band that I'm not super into. But this one in particular is just kind of always in the periphery of my kind of looking for it. Not super into it, but it's just I was stoked to find this one there. This is a Crisian with Bloodshed. I know that glare is horrible. Another one that I kind of just forgot that I was even looking for. So when I was probably in high school, they had I had a compilation that had the song Hateful Nature on it. And I just loved how ferocious and barbaric and raw that song sounded. And I was like, I love this. I have to find this album. And I never did at the time. And it just kind of went off. And but yeah, I just saw it in there that day. And I was like, yeah, I'm snatching that one up. So I got to have that. So that's basically my whole thing with that one. Just so raw and feral. And most of their earlier stuff is also, and shit, this is their 6th album, so I mean, you kind of know what to look for. Black Force Domain, but that was probably their best one, but this one's where it's at too. Just really good stuff. So that was really the main reason I picked it up. I've just really not been a huge fan of Crisium. I'm not knocking them, I'm just saying. Alright, so trying to complete this band's discography, and so I had to have this one, and yeah, I still need to get this damn sticker off here. The jewel case is beat all to hell, but starting to get into the bad Deicide albums. Incinerate Him. And this one's not the worst, in my opinion. I mean, it's not god-awful, but you can tell they definitely were rushing this album, trying to get it one out. Sorry. This is their 2000 record, and I believe they were trying to get out of the contract at this time. So it sounds rushed, and that's just kind of what you get out of it, but at this point, I'm just trying to get all their albums. So you would have this one, you have In Torment in Hell, which came out next, and then they went to Scars of the Crucifix, which would be the last one with the Hoffmans. And to me, that one is really a step up. But then when they left, everything after that, for the most part, has been pretty solid. So every band's going to have their lulls here and there, so it's whatever. But I'm going to get them all eventually, so you might as well just go ahead. This one I wanted to pick up for certain just because of one special thing, and it's I didn't have it anyway, but it was like I've been trying to pick up these specific versions of these albums. It's weird that I didn't have this album. I don't know why, but everyone knows this one. I've heard it 10 bazillion times at this point. But Carcass, Reek of Putrefaction. They're obviously their debut full length out on Earache in '98. The reason I've been wanting to pick these up is because I already had the artwork with the pathologist report on it, and you line them all up and they form that picture. And you got the DVD where it's backstory on the album, I believe. So there's that. But these are the ones I'm really trying to track down. I really want to get those, and it's like I don't want to pass on Carcass material that I don't own, but it's like, god dang, I really got to have these specific versions of these albums. So just because of that, I mean, I know I can watch it on YouTube or whatever, but it's just like, I don't care. I've just got to have that specific version. So, but yeah, I mean, I really love this album, but I'd probably go with Symphonies of Sickness as my favorite Carcass album, but it's just, it's whatever. Still love this one, obviously. Alright, some records, and we will be done. Well, this has been a long video. It's felt longer than what it's been. So these last two I picked up at Static Age Records in Nashville, and they had a very, very small metal section, but they had all kinds of shit in there. So it's kind of like, do you want a lot or do you want some quality stuff? And they had quality material in there, but I guess I was kind of being cheap that day, so I only picked up 2 records. But this is one of my absolute favorite albums from 2018, and I had to have it on vinyl. And that's basically the reason I picked it up. A Feather and Bone. Steel Hymns of Perversion. I know I talked about this like out the ass back when it came out, but Denver death metal still playing their hardcore stuff in there a little bit, so it really mixes well. Very, very brutal sound, very ferocious, again, apocalyptic sound. And this one has the different artwork than the CD version, so I really like that. I believe these are limited to, there's like 4 different vinyl colors on this one, and they're all limited to 100, but I just have the black vinyl, and I couldn't find any limitation on that one, so I don't know what it is. Yeah, I mean, again, just an album I was pretty obsessive about when it first came out. So there's the inner sheet, and it's got a download for the digital version if you want it. So there you go. First come, first serve, obviously. But yeah, and it's just an album that I just had to have on vinyl just because I love this band so much. I'm still trying to get around to get their earlier material, but yeah, so Profound Lore also put this one out. If you're interested, Supreme Neanderthal sound, that sounds like it'd be up your alley, it's something for you. So there you go. And my daughter's in there yelling, so I guess I better wrap this up and get out of here. So the last one, this is an album that I was really, really digging when it came out, and I don't know why I never picked it up. And I saw it in there in Static Age. I was like, I'm getting this now, because I was absolutely loving this, and it's just one of those that just ended up not getting picked up. But another 2018 album, and it's just gorgeous artwork. This is Coffin Torture with Dismal Planet. I believe this is their only album they've ever put out, and it's trying to describe this is really weird. It's like doom metal and sludge together, but it just sounds so shit. I don't even know. It's really, really harsh, very noisy. Just imagine sludge riffs with like just extremely overbearing guitar tone. Just a really cavernous, I don't want to say apocalyptic again, but it's just kind of the vibe it gives. Just devastatingly heavy, pretty much. This is only like a 40-minute album, but it feels much, much longer. I mean, you can really get wrapped up in this one. It's part of what I really enjoyed about it, and I'm just really glad to have been able to pick it up. So I don't think there is there's no inner sheet on this, so there's front and back. Band's out of Westminster, South Carolina, I believe. Not too far from me, honestly. Maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. The vinyl's beautiful, just really like swampy green and yellow. I love that, man. Yeah, don't hold out on this one. I know I'm describing it as sludge. You either love sludge or you hate it, but this one doesn't feel like a sludge album. It's just really hard to describe, man. There's just so much racket going on with it, and it's just very, very, very overbearing. It's just one to kind of put on and just let it hypnotize you pretty much, because it'll definitely do it. I remember being in here, just kind of doing some stuff and just kind of getting some stuff moved around because I'm trying to get some crap out of this room, and it was like, damn, I'm still not finished side one, but it felt like I've been working for an hour. So this one goes on for a while, but it doesn't feel as short as what it actually is. But it's just a